You guys, I swear my blood sugar like plummeted. I just had to shoo away a snake. Oh my god. I'm so freaked out, you guys. I'm literally so freaked out. I'm just sitting here about to start my day and do some bookings. I have a few bookings to get through today. And like, I can't even begin my day because I'm so freaked out. Like, first thing in the morning, what do you see? You wake up a huge black snake. Like, it was probably as long as I am. And the fattest one I've seen. Oh. So basically, it hid under a flower bush, right? I didn't even notice it. And usually they leave you alone. Floridian wildlife doesn't really bother anyone, right? It's not the first time I've seen this here in 3 years either. I've seen snakes here easily 50 times over. The thing in all sorts of colors, shapes, sizes, yes. Red, orange, white, brown, black. Like, I've seen it all. And very close. However, this was the largest one I've ever seen. That cable reminds me of it. Oh, except 10 times fatter. Oh my goodness. I didn't even see it until I saw it. And I know you're not supposed to like shoo it away or like bother it or leave it alone. But I thought that I could be tough and like try to like get a broom and go shoo. It only came after me. I screamed like a little girl, run inside. I swear, like, don't bother. Leave him alone. Like, don't think a broom is gonna do anything. They're like, really? She was like this. She was like, really? Really? Boom! And she started running. I'm like, ah! Oh my god, y'all. Lesson learned, okay? Yeah, so, what I did was I went home to the cabinet, got me a whole tub of cinnamon, and just started pouring it like everywhere, because apparently they don't like cinnamon. They don't like lemongrass. They don't like cloves, onion, garlic. So I did that. Went back home. Took me a minute to gather my composure to even dare step outside. Went back out, and I noticed it started wiggling away because I put the cinnamon. And it finally left. Took a whole hour. But yeah, you know, they are more afraid of us than we are of them, allegedly. So don't bother. Just let it go on its own. Most of the time I've noticed that, like, they eventually go away, right? They don't bother you, even if you're accidentally close. Like, one time I was, like, literally a foot away from one, and I didn't even notice until I turned around, and I was like... And I ran off, and I screamed like a little girl, of course. But it only ran off, too. It didn't jump for me. It didn't come for me, you know? Like, if they feel threatened by you, then you do something threatening to them, then, of course, the snake's gonna come after you, you know? I mean, people have snakes as pets, don't they? So there's really nothing to freak out about it. And these, in general, are non-venomous either. They're, like, non-poisonous. So even if it, knock on wood, were to go after you, nothing would happen. It would just be, like, irritating, probably. But anyway, I just thought I'd vlog this because I vlog every day and it's my journal. But this was quite a way to start my day. Quite a way to start my day. Indeed. Yeah, that's how it is like living in the tropics. It's not perfect. Goodness. I remember actually seeing one give birth to a baby, like live, like literally in front of me. So, you know what? I'm not even surprised anymore. I know that spirit speaking too. Like, when you see different creatures, you have to trust in spirit and be like, what is that trying to tell me? Like, the other day I saw like a huge tortoise, and I've never seen a huge tortoise. And I'm like, whoa. And it had like a curled up nose. It was very cool. So I've seen all sorts of wildlife here. I've seen like bobcats, like a family of 3 lives nearby. I've seen wild boars here. I've seen, I think there's like a Floridian puma. Yeah. I've seen all sorts of creatures that I've never seen before. And it's like ever since I moved to Florida, like I used to see the same like robins and cardinals and squirrels in Illinois. But now ever since I moved here, I've seen like some specific type of eagles and hawks and cranes and and that's spirit speaking to you. And I always like look up the definition, like what are they trying to tell me today? And you interpret it as your own using your intuition, of course. But it's very interesting. Like the other day, I actually accidentally, like while I was walking, it was like dark in my house, and I was about to go start a booking. I stepped on a pregnant spider. I was so lucky, I swear. It felt like I stepped on an eraser, like a rubber toy or something. It felt weird. That was like the first time I actually accidentally touched a spider, and it was like, oh my God. And it dispersed like 30 babies. I was like, oh my God. So it's like, spirit's definitely talking. It's like I've been experiencing a lot of changes in my life, and they're matching with that. I keep seeing 11, 11, 4, 4, 4. So although it's frightening, I have to trust it, right? Like I've never had this many encounters even with animals. Like I'll start going outside and praying, and all of a sudden 2 huge hawks will just circle above my head. And that actually happened when I started to sage the other day. And all of a sudden, again, 2 hawks over my head. I was like, okay, they're telling me something. The other day, I saw a family of 5 bunnies running across me. Just like as soon as I step outside, they're like, pshh, 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 like a marathon, just right in front of me. I'm like they just came out of nowhere. It's like sometimes creatures will come out of thin air. And they're speaking. I know they're speaking. The more spiritually in tune and connected you are to source, the more you'll see wildlife and animals and connect, and even sometimes feel things, smell things, see things that maybe couldn't even be there, I know I'm not crazy. I'm just imagining this stuff. Like, trust me, okay? But yeah, it's incredible. The more you tune in, and lately I've been working with new crystals. Ooh, that's probably why. Wow. And things are just happening now, and it's like flowing and flooding. Like you get ideas, and it's like, I guess this is about like my spiritual journey lately. It's just like, even though you're afraid, you can't let the fear get to you. Because did something really happen to me after all of that? No. They're just trying to reach out and contact you and let you know, like, hey, like sometimes they're even trying to warn you, So maybe something you didn't know. Always listen to your guidance. It's not just a song on the radio, a billboard you see on your drive to work. There's messages spirits trying to contact you. If you get a thought in your mind over and over again, it's probably not a fear. It's probably a message. They're probably warning you about something. So pay attention and listen. Okay, and trust your divine guidance in general. It's kind of funny because today's my mom's birthday, and it's St. Patrick's Day too. And I didn't even think much of it, but I picked a green crystal today, and when I sat down and I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, like I totally didn't even put 2 and 2 together. That like green, St. Patrick's Day, how funny is that? And it ends up being a crystal for good luck. Could you believe that? So I know they're speaking. When you listen, when you tune in, they're speaking. And it has something to do with your abilities as well. And just your connectivity always. I've always been more connected to animals. So that's how I know spirit's talking. Through time, the clock, and animals, right? And the animals are most in tune and connected to source next to us, okay? We human beings think we're all that, honey. The animals may not be able to be as intelligent as us, but they are more spiritually intelligent. So you just have to trust in the process. I almost want to pick like the first card on top. Page of Swords. What is it that we need to let go of today? The fear, I think. Sometimes we look the other way and we don't want to see how she's looking the other way. She doesn't want to do what she has to do, but God's guiding her and telling her that she has to go do what she has to do, regardless of the fear, right? There's a cliff near her. She has to drop the sword. She looks away, but she has to do it. It reminds me of the Titanic, this card, because it reminds me of the lady dropping the necklace in the ocean. Like, she doesn't want to do it, but she does it. She kind of looks away and just does it because something told her to. So however that connects with you. Thank you guys for joining me.